Hey, welcome to my channel. I am Dr. Sharice, and today we'll be talking about how I live a soft life. I hope this is inspirational to you because I fully believe that Black women in America can live a life of ease if you do things in a certain way. One of the things that I did that affords me the lifestyle that I want is the career that I chose. Now, I've been a student for most of my life. The doctor in Dr. Sharice is a PsyD degree. I am a psychologist. So the starting salary of a psychologist, depending on where you are in the country, is around $100,000, give or take $10,000 or $15,000. That's if you're working for another company. If you own your own practice, like full-time, you have a couple of employees, you can make upwards of $300,000 a year. Granted, you'll have to pay other people's salaries, but there is a wide range of income level for people who are psychologists. So knowing what the income potential for a psychologist, I think, is very important for putting my lifestyle into context. But I know lots of people who are lawyers, high earning medical doctors, people who make upwards of $300,000 a year who are not living a life of ease. So income is not the most important. We know money is important in this life, but after about $75,000, happiness does not increase. Many people can live a life of ease or flow with an income around $40,000. It's really about doing things a certain way. Something that I think is super important is tailoring my work schedule to work for me. There are lots of people who think it's their duty to work full time or to work above and beyond, that they don't feel effective or worthy if they're not working 50, 60, 70 hours a week. That is not my belief system. And I would encourage you to challenge the belief system that you must always be doing, must always be creating, must always be leading in order to feel good in yourself. So right now my schedule is Wednesday, Thursday, Friday. I work typically from 9 to 4. My schedule, if you followed me across my videos, you'll know I've been working from 10 to 3 for a while. I added in a couple 9 a.m. slots. I think I only have one open right now. And then I see people until 4. That's because I did a few changes in my schedule, right? But I have the freedom to be able to work a schedule that works for me. Outside of working for yourself, there's not really that kind of flexibility, but I would challenge you to ask for the time that you need from your employer or to schedule things in such a way that you can have a life outside of work. Another big one for me is having a spiritual practice. Literally what my channel is about is connecting to God more deeply so that you can live a life of joy and ease. I think I've documented it pretty well on my channel, like my spiritual journey and the things that I do, the rituals that I do. I don't like recording rituals because then I feel like I'm performing a ritual for people to look and see. But there are a couple that I thought it would be very helpful to share, like my morning routine. I don't think I have a nighttime routine one. I think I have like my journaling routine. And I think I have one full moon spiritual routine that I've done. But outside of those big ones, right, I think life is lived in the day-to-day. So what you do today, what you did yesterday, that's your life. That's where the moments are. We're always in the present moment. And so a spiritual practice helps me stay grounded, helps me stay connected to God, helps me deal with life's challenges because life is always lifing. Life will happen for you, for me, for everybody. And so I feel really, really up for the challenge of life. I feel empowered and inspired by any problems, that I have. I recently went through another spiritual breakthrough as I was diving deeper into dating and falling in love. And I mean, without God, I really don't know how y'all do this life without God. How are y'all able to stay? Well, I think that's it. Y'all are not able to stay grounded and joyful and thankful and in deep gratitude for the life that you have without God, right? And God is not just, the concept or, your Allah or whatever. God is love. God is everything. And so there are lots of different ways to tap into that. I do it one specific way that I document here on my channel, but I strongly, strongly, strongly encourage folks to do that deep dive inward, right? I am little g God. Inside of me is the whole world, right? The universe is experiencing the universe through me. It's very meta, but it makes me feel good. Like spirituality, talking about God, talking about, you know, synchronicities, alignment, manifestation, like all those things make me feel really, really good. And I love being able to share that here on my channel. And I love that it's a really major part of my life, because I know when it's time to pause. I know when it's time to cry. I know when it's time to travel, right? I know when it's time to, you know, have that difficult conversation. In those moments, I can really call on God, really dive deep into surrender and allow life and love to flow through me, so that I can say, you know, I love my life. I love it so much. I love it so much. And I'm really grateful for being able to create this life of ease for myself. A big part of living a soft life and a life of ease is prioritizing self-care. Like literally saying, I am the most important person right now, and I have to deal with myself. And so I know a lot of ways on social media that it's depicted is manicures. Girl, I'm one of the natural girlies. You see, I'm one of the natural girlies. So that image of consuming, even though I started this video, is one aspect of self-care. When I want to travel, if it aligns with what's happening in my life, that's what I'm going to do. But in other ways, like going to therapy, right? Saying, oh no, I'm setting aside this hour for myself to dive deeper into the darker spaces in my mind that I haven't healed yet. Saying that I'm only cooking one time this week. I love to cook, but sometimes it's still a chore, right? Sometimes I want to do nothing. Sometimes I want to order in. Sometimes I'm craving something else that would take a long time to cook. Sometimes it's taking a nap, not because I'm tired, but just because I just want to do nothing. Sometimes it's journaling, but making the time for myself is an act of self-care. It's one of those self-love practices where I tell people, you know, love is an action word. And what are the ways that you are loving yourself? Like one of the things I'm working on right now is getting back to my lifestyle of health, fitness, wellness. I can't say I've ever been unhealthy, right? And I recently went to the doctor and she just had really wonderful things to say. But I know what it's like to feel really strong, really agile, to be really fast, like in my body. So I'm getting back and easing into my workout routine. I've been working out, but there are steps that I want to reach, goals that I've set for myself, right? I bought a couple new things to challenge me and help me get there. But even saying that, I'm setting aside a certain amount of money to be able to buy the things that I need. I'm setting aside a certain amount of time to be able to prioritize my fitness journey. All of those things are practices for myself that I have to do, right? I mean, I get to do, but they're so important for me that I view them as a thing I have to do. Like I have to breathe to stay alive, and I have to prioritize myself in order to enjoy life. Relatedly, I also like to romanticize my life. So I think of romanticizing your life as being really, really present. Like imagining that you're in a movie or on set, like main character energy, like fully. I know all the ways that people talk about romanticizing their life. It's a lot about fancy dinners, you know, that dressing up and wearing luxurious things. And yes, it's that. But when I make tea in the morning, I feel like I'm romanticizing my life because I'm doing it with such grace. I'm doing it with such gratitude. I'm doing it with so much intention and attention to the first sip, the taste, like the process. It's not a rush through. I don't set anything and then walk away. I'm there during the process. If I have my tea kettle, I'm waiting for it to boil. If I am, you know, I learned a new way to do chai tea. I'm watching it and now I can really, really anticipate when that big bubble is going to come. And all of that feels like really beautiful in my life. So sometimes I think about if I was looking through a camera lens, what shots, you know, if this were a movie, would they be getting? And what can I pay attention to even more and savor? I think romanticizing your life is really about savoring the little moments because that's life. Life is lived in those little moments. We will have those big things. And I love having the big things, but it's really the little things about what does my plate look like? How can I create this presentation? What does my home look like? How can I look around my home and feel like, oh my gosh, this is so incredibly beautiful. This is so inspiring. I feel so good in my space because it's my life. It's like my life. I'm the one living here. I want to be able to enjoy. And so it's like those little moments. Ooh, And the last thing on my list for how I live a soft life is asking for and accepting help. Yeah, I have a 16-year-old. So one of those ways is it's super important for me to raise my son to be a man, like a good man. And a lot of, I think, right, because one of the things, you know, when you're afraid of certain things, I was afraid of him being entitled because, right, I have more money than a lot of people. And so there's a lot of things that he can get that I don't have to say no to. He's not entitled, right? But I also had a fear one time. These are not, you know, active fears, but a thought had popped up in my mind at some point in time. Another one was that he would be a dusty girl. You know, I know the statistics. I know what they say about single mothers. I just was not trying to be one of them. So even asking my son for help, asking him to be a productive member of this household, challenging him to be an even better version of himself is super important. There's other ways that I ask for help. Like in the past, you know, when I really had no money and I was just a broke college student, I had to learn to ask my mother for help. I had to learn to ask my sisters for help and really practice it until it became something that wasn't shameful, something I wasn't afraid of. Other ways that I ask for help, like right now in life, is I'm sending my son home for 2 weeks for Christmas, his Christmas break. I'm staying here. We don't celebrate holidays in my family. So it's not like, they don't really mean much or nothing. It's a break from school, and he will be in the warm weather with his family members. I'm not in the mood to go home, and I don't have to. I get to do whatever I want, right? Part of this mentality of living a soft life is really asking yourself, what do I want? What do I want? And what do I want now? It's a question I continue to ask myself. What do I really want? What resonates with me the most in this moment? How do I feel when I think about this, when I think about that? And then I get to decide, do whatever I want. I would strongly encourage you to ask yourself those questions and to reflect on your own life and see what ways can you live a more soft life? What ways can you invite ease? Who can you call on for help so that you can take some of the burden off? Let me know what you think in the comments. If you have any questions, I'm very active in the comment section. Thank you for watching. Oh, please give this video a like if you enjoyed it. Subscribe to my channel and share this video with somebody that you think can be helped into living a softer life.